This next segment is sponsored by Penn and Teller. Okay, so which one is it? I can't remember now because Brent Beeson the devil is here and he's bedeviling me. And anyways, what I do know is the excuse that Spirit gives for. I'm not going to tell you the answer right now, but this is for Penn and Teller. There's one guy that doesn't talk. The big guy talks and the smaller guy doesn't. So no, it doesn't seem like ventriloquist and dummy. No one would. No, no one would say that the smaller one is a Gollum Duppy of the big guy, or that the little guy is supplying the voice for the big guy, and he's a remote neural monitored electronic slave using a Dr. Evil machine. Later on we are expecting to hear more about the grand finale, and I can't help you right now because we're still trying to see if there's some. Oh, there was another reason that we were listening to Chris Ray's song, The Road to Hell, and I can't possibly do it without a band because I don't know. If I was, this is some psychological freeway. This is the road to hell. Okay, so then we were given to think about, well, if you were going on the road to hell because you were Larry Gowan singing, "A criminal mind is all I ever had." Well, it's just that the criminal mind is going to think of the Jews going to Auschwitz. When the Gestapo Nazi police rounded them up and put them onto buses and trains and sent them to the concentration camp and the gas chambers. Because the vultures were out. It was Fred Sanford from Sanford and Son. And it was Red Fox and DeMont Wilson that did the comedy tape and then there was his girlfriend too, Fred Sanford. Sanford was, I don't know, 70 years old, and his business with his son was rummage. In other words, old people's junk that they got and then they resold, and somehow they survived on the difference. But that's what the criminal-minded guy is thinking, is that on the road to hell, which is going to the gas chamber if you were the Jews in 1942, the Jews had to leave behind all of their wealth. And a lot of it would be in the form of antiquities and masterpieces. And one-of-a-kind authenticated items. The head from the Headless Horseman. Because maybe they were the guy that finally found that guy, Ichabod Crane, and actually did lop off his head with a battle axe or a guillotine or a garrote. Brent Beeson the Devil is here today as our. If it was Johnny Carson's show, Johnny Carson would say, our guest today is Brent Beeson the Devil. And I don't know, he's good. What else do we want to talk about? Well, just that song, The Road to Hell, is like, if you were Fred Sanford and you heard that, if you were in Germany in 1942 and you were Jewish, you were gonna be rubbed out of existence by Zyklon B, insecticide manufactured by Brent Beeson is giving out one possible chemical company, Krupp, K-R-U-P-P. There might be others making Zyklon B. Sounds like a trade name, but it's definitely a gas and it's poison, and It might be considered under commercial use under low doses delouser for removing skin parasites like crabs that people get from having sex or something. They have to go to the druggist and get some special shampoo for a children's lice. How do you know that that children's lice isn't the same as adult crabs? Is it a different species? I don't know. It's just that this. I don't know. I don't know. Nits and lice. So our honored guest on the Johnny Carson show is Here's Johnny, and that's going to be Jack Nicholson in the Shining movie, playing that guy, Jack Torrance, who did say when he burst through with a battle axe towards his wife when he was insane and about to actually be, I married the axe murderer, and really was. Here's Johnny. It was a very famous clip. You can find it on YouTube, I'm sure. And let's see. So if I'm that guy at the Overlook Hotel and I'm actually going to host a TV show, in the lobby or something, lobby bar, and it's going to be the Johnny Carson show and starring Jack Nicholson as Randall Flagg, from the Dark Tower, as the insane man who, I don't know the evil emperor of that version of the world, played by Matthew McConaughey, very suave and debonair, and drives around smoking cigarettes like this because he's just so intense about keeping it all together, because this is what happened to that famous psychiatric case who became a best-selling author, Marc D'Entremont. Because Marc D'Entremont has an alter ego, and his name is mentionables. Fascinating. How hard is it for you to gather up that everybody here doesn't understand how smart Marc D'Entremont is? Well, it's just that the arrow of time is something that we shared in common, trying to figure out how it was, and modern day it doesn't seem to be correctable. But Reiki does say that you can change timelines using Reiki. Okay, it was there was a famous head case who had to take to his bed because he was is it Dr. Xavier or something? Dr. Magneto, Dr. Xavier Magneto or something like that. Patrick Stewart might play him. He's in a wheelchair. He's completely 100% head, and the body is broken. But he can do things with his head that you can't possibly do with your body anyways. Everybody going with this? Because I'm getting drawn in deep into karmic cycles. Groundhog Day over and over again, Bill Murray movie. Because it just seems like we never make a quantum leap forward. Because we always seem to have too many sea anchors who are throwing wet blankets over ideas to, let's make a real change. Instead of propagating the king rat scenario forever for all of us except for the king rats. But the king rats do cuff themselves because as long as the 1% rule as the tyrants, it's prison planet that Alex Jones tells you, which means you'll never reach 540, the 1%, the ruling class, which means you're going to stay here in prison planet. And then you're going to eat all your underlings and enslave them all and end up, generating horrible karma to the point where in the Cloud Minders episode, the Galactics found this new world that wants to join the Federation. And when the Federation actually goes there, they find that it's actually only the elite who travel the stars. And on the homeworld, there's an enslaved population who supplies raw materials and sexual favors and, death marches. And, live victims for snuff films, in other words, they find planet Earth the way it is, with a permanent underclass and a ruling 1% who have taken to the stars and left everybody else behind, and still are in the business of farming babies so they can make adrenochrome injections to give to Hollywood celebrities, like they showed Johnny Depp taking in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. So if you're watching the Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing, then you need to bring up Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and Johnny Depp, was that real adrenochrome that you did on the set? because you're filthy rich, and maybe you're a little bit amoral because you're recognized as able to do anything because you're Johnny Depp, and we all think you're gorgeous and beautiful. We all want to fuck you 3 different ways because we all did. Everyone went in that original series when he was the cop in high school with Peter DeLuise. I don't know. It's just like at least that's what I'm known to be a bit queer, about 100%. But it's just I don't know. He'd be on some of the list as like I don't want to tell you, but I don't know. I just think that they do. I don't know. It's just like I don't know. What was that TV show? The original one? Hill Street Jump, 3 street jumps, jump street hill jump 3 hump snakes and ladders or something like that. 24 Jump Street. I don't know, like if it was real adrenochrome made by torturing a child or even an adult, or what about a cat? Well, you all think that that's beyond horrible. The vegan in me wants to say, how many hamburgers did you have this week made with, or how many veal parmesanas did you have this week? People. So before, he without sin is to cast the first stone or something. In other words, people who live in glass houses, Billy Joel album, shouldn't throw rocks. Well, the ugly is the ugly, and veal parmigiana. Now, I don't want to tell you, but somebody might not know that veal is a baby pig. And veal parmigiana is like you go to the Italian restaurant and it's on the menu, and you don't. When I was a boy, I didn't know. Meat is meat. Animals are animals. They don't have any feelings. That's what you're originally told and you don't even think about it. It's just meat. What is meat? I don't know. It's just another food. When you're just a little baby, they start you off with Gerber's baby food, and then after a certain amount of time, they say, well, it's a certain number of months, then you can, after you get teeth, I guess, you would start to, you might puree meat for a baby. Well, how are you going to expect a baby they might spit it out. That's about all they would do. But if you're like a, Mummy Dearest, Joan Crawford, maybe you don't allow baby to spit it out because you punish baby. If baby spits it out, then Mummy maybe goes like that to baby. To condition the baby to not spit out horrible tasting things like meat. Anyways, you're all adults now, and you all know all about it, and if you're still eating meat, then you're an orc. O-R-C, and that's not human. So you're not a human species, and I don't see how you could be covered by human law. Or something. So anyways, if there are an elite group of people who have gone to the stars and made contact with the Federation, and the Federation comes here, and the Federation finds enslaving people abhorrent, then, they just got the back door to a world where, all those people have got to be freed. And that's basically where we're at now, because Karen Carpenter put out that song, also covered by Klaatu, 1970s, of calling occupants of interplanetary most extraordinary craft. And part of the lyric was, interstellar policeman, come here and rescue us because we need more or better or uncorruptible police. Because, we've got too many cops that are dirty. Like Bad Lieutenant Harvey Keitel. So, if there are such a thing as intergalactic policemen, then I guess they're guarding us here on Prison Planet, as described by Alex Jones, who is also known as a can't help you out, some kind of a celebrity who's playing more than one role. Somebody says Alex Jones is more than one person in the public eye. So anyways, this might be red herrings or it might be an interesting rabbit hole to go check it out. You might find something on royal actors fool us. I don't think that's quite right though. But there is a Facebook group called Royal Actors Fool Us or something. Where Beast and the Devil is holding it away from me. So this isn't fun, Penn and Teller. So in other words, you as if you have real magic, then you know that this torture has been going on. And if you don't, then then how are you doing your magics? Because either you're doing it technologically or you're doing it for real. For us. And if you got it for real, then you should demonstrate it. Because Simon Magus, who was a known real magician, not stage magic that could be faked, or I don't know, why are you telling me all this shit that stage magic can't be real? I don't know, blah, 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 can help you out, attacked by Beast and the Devil. Anyways, if that's the case, how come the Magicians Union doesn't look at people who are under attack magically and have aurors that go around and, kill off the people who are doing evil? Unless you're doing evil, Penn and Teller, and only evil magicians get on TV. And then you're like my friend, the great kahuna Ana, Wayne Kealoe Powell, the white Howley kahuna. Uh-huh. A kahuna Ana is a black magic guy and kahuna Ana means of the Hawaiian lineage, like, trained in Hawaiian ways. Well, I can help you out because the lunatic Abraham Kauai, an authentic Hawaiian kahuna, trained a white haole with the diploma Doctor of Divinity, Wayne Powell, half American, half Cuban, 100% haole, and now trained in the Hawaiian arts of death. Spiritual, psychic, I don't know, non-physical attack by ancient Hawaiian kahuna ways, because it is written about that, in the past, that there were these dark black magicians that could kill just by their personal will, not having to use a blade or anything, just by, a death look. Martial arts, maybe some kind of ninjas could look at you that way, give you a look that could kill. If looks could kill. Isn't that a song or something? All right, well, where do we go from here? I'd not be too headstrong because I don't know. If I was to reflect right now, here's my face for all you kahuna Anas giving me the death stare. I don't think it's his real hands.